Corn and wheat seeing some gains, but traders are positioning themselves ahead of today's USDA report. Michelle Rook is back with an update in Markets Now.
Grains mostly higher on Thursday. Ted Seifried, Zaner, Hedge joining us with analysis. And Ted, going into the WASDE report here today, let's talk about how important this August report really is.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a rather important report, and I think most people don't understand why. And the reason is because of the yield. And I mean, it's somewhat obvious to say, well, the yield in August is that's important. But what this report is, it marks a shift from the USDA and World Ag Board on how they estimate these yields, right? Up until this point, all the way from the Outlook report, all the way through the July WASDE report, these yields are all statistically based and statistically based on trend line versus weather. Now, this is the first objective yield that we see for this coming marketing year for this current crop that's in the ground, and it is based on a farmer survey, and to some degree, it's based on satellite imagery. Now, here's the interesting thing about that. The USDA won't say exactly which part is weighted more than the other. Well, no, they will say that the survey is typically weighted more than the satellite imagery, but they won't give you the breakdown of 70-30 or 80-20 or anything like that.
Yeah.
The reason why I think that is because I think it's a moving target. And I think in years where you have significant weather changes, after that survey is taken, they rely a little bit more heavily on those satellite imagery. And I think this is one of those years, Michelle. So I'm very curious to see what this yield is. I know we all are very curious to see what this yield is. It is a very important thing. And it's possible that it could be very different than what the statistical analysis has been saying.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about USDA punting on yield, but they really can't do that here, can they?
No, they really can't. I mean, it is possible that the stats were right, and this survey / satellite imagery agrees, and it comes out roughly the same or close to what the trade estimates are. But it's not a punt because it's a completely different way of calculating yield.
So do we have a yield cut kind of already baked into prices? So if we do have yield go the other way, it could be wildly bearish to price?
Yeah, no, that really would not be good for the markets. I mean, we are really just kind of clinging on to some support going into this report, and you need a bullish report in order to hold this. If this is a neutral to bearish report, you could have some pretty significant and aggressive downside in a fairly short period of time.
Thanks for joining us with analysis. Ted Seifried, Zaner, Hedge. We'll have more AgDay coming up.
For professional marketing advice specifically tailored to your needs, call Zaner Ag Hedge at 312-277-0113.